Corey here with another podcast for Healing for Yarning. Starting the year off fresh with a new concept and new ideas, but same stories. So I'll throw over to the brother and got on today.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Corey. My name's Todd Phillips, proud Kabangui man from the North Coast of New South Wales. Living in Sydney, really good to be on and have a yarn.
Oh, deadly, bro. So Kabangui man, Grafton area, so I guess what was a bit of a story of growing up there? How was that?
We had a really good upbringing, like a lot of family. I often think about stuff we used to do growing up, like fishing and, go camping out bush with the family and the dad and uncles. But, stuff you don't kind of get access to in Sydney. But, really, really good upbringing, like a lot of family up there. Got a lot of family ties to Bunjalung country and Dungari. So we sort of moved a lot along the north coast. Grafton's kind of home, but spent a lot of time in Lismore.
Yep.
Actually born in Lismore, but went to early years in high school there and Coffs Harbour. It was a really positive one. A lot of good memories.
No, so in Sydney now. So how was the path down to Sydney? How'd you first venture down here?
Yeah, I've got some older siblings, and they moved down. It would have been sort of early 90s. So I used to come down and visit them in school holidays, and always wanted to move down. Like it was kind of flash, and it was exciting, and always lots of good stuff to do. So my dad just sent me down on the school holidays, and then I got an opportunity to play. I had a sort of contract with North City Bears when they were around, and they sent me down, and I was chasing the dream of playing footy as a sort of 15, 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Got a bursary to go to high school here, and just sort of took the opportunity. It was completely just, I was a fish out of water when I first moved down, but that's how it sort of come down as a 15-year-old, and was just staying with family in Waterloo.
Yeah. What was the biggest difference coming down from as a country boy, coming down to the city? What was it?
I think just the pace, like fast pace, and everyone's on the go all the time. Different pace. And I guess I learned a lot of things. I had to grow up really quickly. I was living in a house with family, but I was often there on my own. Which was, I went from a mum and dad and siblings in a house to pretty much just on my own as a 15, 16-year-old, and having to get myself up for school and just navigate that. It was an all-boys school, Catholic school, and I had to kind of grow up really quick because I had to get myself to training and get on a bus and go to do everything on my own. So it would have been hard at times as well. It was challenging. Like so many times, and I saw a lot of some cousins that come down for scholarship opportunities. They didn't last long. They homesick and go back really quickly, and I'd sort of go back and see the family in school holidays, but I guess just had to persevere, and had some pretty good sort of support down here that encouraged me to stay and stick it out, and finish year 12 would be a good thing, and it was kind of lonely at times as well, but I quickly developed a lot of good relationships with a lot of brothers in the community, and I think it helped that I had older siblings, like two older brothers that
quite already emerged in city life as well. So.
And it was pretty cool because I was a 15-year-old, and I'd often hear people say, "Oh, that's John Damien's brother. Don't mess with him," So I kind of had that coming in. But it was good.
Very different personality to John and Damien, though. You're a lot more reserved, we'll say, than the two older brothers.
I think different personalities, but
I would have held you in good stead. It would have been allowed you just to find your time down here as well, just knowing you had two brothers there to support you if anything was going on for you, but also just to say, well, let's see what it's about, what can I do for myself.
And I think even my two brothers too, like very different personalities. Like Joe, I think a lot more sort of grounded and sensible and encouraged me. Whereas my other brother Damien's a bit of a rat bag, and like I kind of use that as a bit of a guide of what kind of not to do, and but he always had my back. But I think I just fortunate that I had some good kind of older men in the community that sort of prompted me and promoted me, and really opened up my eyes, because particularly around the Grafton North Coast region, I think coming down as high school, the question was, what are you going to do when you finish school? And I went to an all-boys Catholic school, and everyone sort of had their careers mapped out, what they're going to do. They're going to go do business, commerce, economics, or whatever. They had their career mapped out, and I was just trying to work out life, I didn't even think uni was in reach. It's certainly sort of made me grow up, and
going to schooling and stuff down here, and how was, I guess, going to an all boys school that was predominantly not mob? How was that for you to fit in for?
I think there was about 1,000 boys at the school. 7 to 12, and there was only 3 blackfellas. Luckily, one was a family member of mine in my year, and we sort of clicked and became we were big supports for each other. But it was such a eye opener and a culture shock. Wearing a blazer and long pants and a tie all year round. I didn't know how to tie a tie, and I was the only fella in the school going down to lost property to find some free clothes, because I had no money, and, I had no parents to buy me, go to the uniform shop and buy me stuff. So it was a complete culture shock, and even just the the religious side of things. I mean, it was a school that was really a pathway for a lot of football players, league. So they have a lot of Roosters and Rabbitohs players, and they were on sort of scholarships, and I was just kind of treading water in a lot of ways.
Oh, fair enough. From as you touched on, when leaving there, you didn't know really what was next. Didn't know, thought uni might have been out of reach. So, what did you do for those years when you first finished school? I just looked at it and thought, I want to eventually go and study. That was the kind of, just to open up some job opportunities. And but the reality was, living in Sydney, I couldn't do it. So I moved up to Brisbane. And stayed with my mum up there, and went to TAFE and for a couple of years, and did a diploma of community work. And still just trying to find out what it is I wanted to do. And then eventually did some work, but then education was kind of my passion. So I did an education degree in Brisbane and became a school teacher. How long was you school teacher for?
Not very long then. only a couple of years. Did some teaching, and then realised that the money's not that great. Career opportunities are kind of limiting. I loved it. Great, really rewarding job. But just felt like I wanted more. And I had a mentor of mine, Dr. Chris Sara, who's a amazing individual, and when I was studying and doing postgrad studies, he said to me one time, he was a school teacher and a principal, but he said, if you want to make an impact and a difference, sometimes you've got to get out of the classroom to do it. So it kind of made me thinking, what else, maybe I should think about postgrad study, maybe I should think about doing something bigger, and
Sara, S-A-R-A?
S-A-R-R-A, yeah.
Is he related to Grant?
Grant Sara. They're brothers.
They're brothers,
yeah.
Government Grant. That's his nickname is.
And there's he was Queenslander of the Year, and principal at Sherbrooke Community for a while, and did some really really amazing things.
Yeah. Same with his brother. His brother's done some really work around policies for mob and stuff. That's what they call it. Yeah, government bring it.
Yeah, I've heard him talk.
Yeah,
he's good.
Yeah, I'll actually hopefully catch up with him in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So going from just to go back a little bit, coming down on a scholarship for football, leaving school, knowing I kind of wanted to study. Where was that dream still with football for you when you left school?
Oh, look, I think, I went through a horrendous run with injuries, 3 shoulder reconstructions, knee reconstruction. I had a broken arm. And I think there was a bit of a, people sort of, a bit of an unspoken rule that if you hadn't cracked NRL before you're 21, 22, then, maybe you should look at plan B. So, I saw a lot of fellas in the community. That was the only dream. There was no plan B, And, so I kind of felt like I was playing union at Randwick and didn't know whether I'd sort of wanted to pursue union or league and I think I learned pretty quick that an NRL career isn't that long on average and it's really competitive and so I thought, well, why not look at outside the footy dream?
So going from having that conversation with Chris Sarah, so where did that lead you? What was that next step of taking that on board of what he said?
Before that there was an academic at, I think he's still at Southern Cross Uni, but his name's Noel Blomley, Torres Strait man, and he was the one that kind of really challenged me to study first. Like he said, he came into our school, high school when I was in Lismore and said, had this, I often tell this story, but he came in and said he had this dream to go to Harvard, and Torres Strait Islander fella, and he said everyone in his community laughed at him, and he said, I'm going to go. And I think like back in the 90s, like, I don't know how much the uni fees were, but back then it was like 50,000 a year, something really high. It's a lot more now, but Ivy League school, and he said he's going to jump in his old Kingswood car, he's going to drive around Australia, knocking on doors, asking for donations.
Wow.
And he said by the time he got to Perth, he said all his community laughed at him, all his, his family. And he said by the time he got to Perth, he had enough for 3 years tuition.
Wow.
Went over there, studied at Harvard, come back, and just that was kind of like an eye opener for me. It was like, in a school in Lismore full of blackfellas talking about, dream big. If your dreams aren't laughed enough, if they're not laughed at, they're not big enough. Have you thought about a career or a study outside of school? And CDP was really big back then. A lot of blackfellas were mowing lawns for a bit extra cash. What were they using the cash for? Party, drink, on the weekends. I think just that conversation kind of thought, it made me think, well, you need to start looking bigger. So there was that, and then I was working and studying at QUT, and just kind of with conversation with Chris Sarah and his wife Grace, they just really kind of challenged me to think about impact, like what you can do. I really enjoyed school teaching, but I wanted to do something bigger,
So what was that? I guess what was the step next? What was your rationale think on what's next?
I got a really good opportunity. I don't know if I tell this, but to go and study in the States, in the US. So I went in there for a little bit and got a master's degree. And it was part of the Bill Clinton Global Initiatives University. So the former president of the US invited 5 Australians. And I applied, and I think at my university alone there's like 800 applicants. So I thought, there's no chance, But I was working in the university doing all around STEM, a lot of mathematics work in community. And I just really sort of promoted that and sort of said in my application, like, I want to do something in this space. And got the call up, and they, full paid fare over there, and they put me up, and so I think that was really good, because when I was over there, like, I thought I was doing something pretty big, traveling around Queensland, working with communities, really promoting education. But man, I was like yarning with people from Africa who were medical students and putting their lives on the line for the betterment of the people. Going into war-torn countries and I was just like, wow, But I mean, blackfella from Grafton over in New Orleans and meeting with international students, and it just kind of like got me thinking, I need to come back and really,
It gives you, I guess, that fuel and that belief to think bigger and feel bigger.
And that Noel Blomley too, like he really said to me, like, I went down and visited him years later. And I said, I want to thank you for your talk. I got a teaching degree, and he said to me, dream bigger. So it kind of, in a good way, but it got me thinking, maybe I should think about postgrad study and do a master's, do a PhD. And just doing something that can, make a big change in education for blackfellas.
And then showing that pathway as well. Of that you can do it. Little blackfella grew up in Grafton.
Because and I remember we were young earlier, but I think often, particularly on the North Coast, like our footy stars are kind of, they're really treated as superstars, and our boxers and our athletes, and but I'm all for sort of changing the narrative to say, other careers are just as important. We should be lifting them up as well. And, there was one fella I sort of grew up with, and he went to Southern Cross and did law. And I thought that was deadly, But all the black fellas there were laughing at him, going, what do you think, you're too good for us now, you're black,
Oh, that old one.
And poor fella, but he finished his degree and became a lawyer. And years later, people thought that's a really good thing. And then he's really creating pathways for young black fellas in that law field,
So good, and it's it's not to divulge from what you're saying, but that lateral violence in our communities with our own people, pulling our own people down with that same comment, you're too good, and not understanding that it comes from colonisation of that's a tactic of war, to tear each other down. But our mob don't see it like that. It's hard, because when there's somebody you love dearly and they're telling you what you think you're too good to come pass home now, when you start questioning yourself, why didn't I do that, or why didn't I do that? It was cool. It's hard.
And about 5 years ago, we started a charity in coding and robotics. So called Deadly Coders. And we started as a pilot program and got some grants to run some small programs, but we've reached 11,000 students, Aboriginal students across the country now. But it's funny you say that, because we last year we won the business award at the Queensland Premier's Award.
Oh wow!
But it's we often get a lot of shit from my community saying, it's we're doing some pretty good stuff. I think we are. But it's often your own mob that aren't your biggest supporters.
No, that's exactly it. It's I've had brothers along the way on both sides, but on the positive side, saying, well, I had a bit of event business for a while, and saying, come through, bro. It's like, I'll pay for a ticket, bro. I'll support you. Little things like that, and it's it's a $20 ticket, but it means a whole lot more than just that $20. It's like, you're trying something, bro. I'll support that, rather than just saying, well, where's my handout? So those little things of what our community don't see, again, is what it actually does to us, and we start thinking, like you just said, I think we're doing some really good work. What are you throwing stones at me for? I had to laugh to myself, because I started a company with
3 of the other directors from Deadly Coders.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing like cybersecurity and cultural competency training. But you know, we did a bit of media and stuff, and like the other business partner said, oh, you know, we should do some LinkedIn posts, you know.
Yeah.
And so we put a LinkedIn post, and like I've been sort of nominated CEO of the company, and put a LinkedIn post and got lots of kind of positive feedback, and oh, well done, here to support you. But you know, all the black fellas are messaging saying, hey, can you sponsor me for the knockout?
Yeah. And that's the first thing as a black fella when you start a business, is that first question, so can you sponsor us? Yeah. And it's, you know, it's not even just for black fellas. Having a yarn with Nige that used to run Hustle and Flow, and just having, he goes like, just because I've got a business doesn't mean I'm rich, or just because I'm doing this doesn't mean I've got money. Like most of my equity goes back into what I'm doing.
Yeah, I've learned that way. Like it's the first. I mean, we're kind of fortunate we don't have a lot of overheads, but yeah, when you're starting something, like often it takes a while to make money on it. But you know, sometimes the community don't see that. They just
nah. You know, they say the nice new car that you're driving around, potentially you've leased back to the company. You know, like you've got because I've got an image to say, we're going well, but also. The other flip side of it is actually I'm just scraping by here, but I've you know, it's those little things of an image is different to what it actually is. Yeah,
that's a good point. Like maybe it's one for the community. Like, you know, when someone's starting something or doing well, like instead of like, what can I get out of it? Like, ask yourself, how can I support this? Support this person.
Yeah, how can I share a post? You know? Just those little things that can go a long way, because it's somebody that my post mightn't reach that your post will, and it's, you know, it's that little thing that could be the domino effect for me, you know. And it's those little things, and sometimes, you know, as you would know, is being in positions that we don't feel comfortable in as mob, being around a whole lot of white people and white executives and nothing like that. That's sometimes for us is where the better growth happens, because we're hearing conversations we've never heard before, and we're hanging around people that have a whole different philosophy on business and life. And then for me, I think as mob, because we come from that family sense, if we can incorporate some of that business sense, I think that's our next step forward.
Yeah.
And going back to what we're talking about, our young men growing up and wanting to think differently and more away from football. Unpopular opinion, but I think with a lot of the female sports coming on now, because I used to always look at our sisters as deadly academics and doing some deadly stuff, but I think now with that sporting avenue, it's diluting a little bit of what our sisters were doing. It's deadly that they're getting the recognition for doing the sports stuff now, but I think it's taken away from that drive of going into business and getting a name in that, because that was their only way to get a name before, because they're not the sport. So it's, for our young men, it's a chance to actually be recognised for doing something like that now. There's more opportunities for us to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, statistically, there's more females at university, like Aboriginal females at university than men, you know, for a number of different reasons. And but I think, you know, women in our community are, you know, they're pillars, and they're often the ones that are, you know, doing a lot of the behind the scenes work that don't get recognition. But I'd love to see more like just community forums and you know, just unofficial sort of mentoring for our mob to, you know, we've got so much talent, you know. And then, I mean, I'm not knocking football at all, because I'm a big rugby league supporter, but you know, when you talk to young black fellas in the community about what you want to do, it's like football.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just need to keep pursuing and raising up other fields and seeing them as just important.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So, I guess going from where you started up your charity then to your business, in the meantime, what was you doing leading up to that? What was your kind of work? Stuff you're doing?
Yeah, I did a lot of study, like you know, I kind of developed a bit of love for learning.
With the bug, eh?
Yeah, and I did a teaching degree, and then I did some community work in social science, and then got an opportunity to do a master's. So that was a 2-year period, and then I did a PhD, which was 4 years.
What was your PhD in, bro?
So it was an extension of my master's. So my master's looked at what are the things that hold us back pursuing education and employment. Bundjalung men. So I did a study on the North Coast, and then I kind of felt like it was an unfinished project. So I thought, I had a mentor, Professor Tom Cooper, who passed away a couple of years ago, but he gave me the opportunity to study and put me on a scholarship, and he said, look, why don't you do a bigger study and look at Mbangi men and Bundjalung, do a bit of a,
deeper dive?
Deeper dive and do a bigger study sample size and ask the question, what holds us back, but then look at what are the cultural things, our strengths that we can use to be success in employment and training, and studies, and and it was awesome. Like it was a marathon, but it really uncovered a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff we're talking about now. What holds us back? It's things like lateral violence. One of the things that holds back. A lot of our young men don't see mentors in different fields. And fear was a big one. Fear just kept coming through. Like fear, not that I'm scared to whatever, but fear of leaving a community, fear of being ostracized if you go away and study medicine. A lot of the fellows that were studying were saying, it comes at a cost. Like I'm living in Grafton, there's no university. I've got to go to Gold Coast or Brisbane. But the community turned on me, saying I'm too good, and I've left them.
Obligations, the fear of obligation, I guess that is, I'm there when I earn money at home. If I go, money's not here for mum or dad or whoever.
A lot of men in the community too, they wanted to do it. But there was also that fear of, they didn't say it, but when you kind of peel back the layers, it's like, I don't know if I can actually move away from the community because I'm safe, this is all I know.
That safety is a big thing, bro. And it's, for myself, working in jails and stuff, when you challenge the brothers and sisters in there, it's that safety of this is what I know. And it's, it's that eye-opening thing of what is safety? Because it makes you, because you get perspective of jail, this isn't safe. But you've done so much of it, it's actually where you feel safe. So it's that real, shit, where do I go from here?
And some of the things that came out, like when I was interviewing a lot of men in the community around Grafton, they were saying, because we got a jail there. They would tell stories how they would reoffend to go back into jail because they got 3 meals a day and they got a bed and they got all the mob there and and outside they find it hard to get a job and survive and thrive. So.
It's an interesting thing, bro. And I have a bit of yarn with you after about it, but it's just I've got this this idea on it. But I have a yarn with you after about it. But the other thing with that is as well, and I know for me when I first started studying, bro, was the fear that other people to believe in my concept that I was dumb. Because I grew up with undiagnosed dyslexia, so growing up, struggling to read and write, being in schools where you kind of just push to a side saying, oh, you're just fucking up, you're fucking up. So actually, the place where I actually learned to overcome it through strategies and that when I done time in jail because there was nothing else to do. And then it's funny where it was only last year I was doing some training around some stuff in my workplace and we're having a yarn and the person was like, you all here right on the level 4 or 5 and I said, no I don't. And she goes, what a 3? I go, no, I'm a 1 or a 2. And she was like, she started questioning me on how I read and I was like, why would I lie? I know what I can do and what I can't do. So for me it's just that concept of going to take that further leap to study, that someone would buy into that concept, that what I thought of myself. So then when somebody else shines a light on that, is that fear of other people seeing it. And for a lot of our mob that have lived with complex trauma and trying to go to school and not being able to concentrate, so you're not really learning. So trying to then go think, well, I do want to go to uni, but that's a big step to take.
Yeah, and just ways of operating, are very, very different.
Yeah.
When I was a mature age student when I enrolled in education, did my teaching degree, but the concept of referencing and just writing assignments.
I hate referencing.
It can be off-putting for a lot of people, but for mature age students that haven't done anything, I owe a lot of my success to the support staff that were at the university and just really broke it down.
Yeah.
And then even post-grad study, Aileen Wharton Robinson, who's this distinguished professor, just had this amazing way of just getting all the post-grad students from, people doing their master's and PhDs, bring them all together and just breaking down the thesis.
Oh, wow.
It can be very much like a structured thing.
Yeah.
She actually challenges us to say, hey, could you incorporate artwork into a thesis? Could you incorporate, not necessarily chapter by chapter, but doing things a little bit differently, and you've got to use theory, and she just had this amazing way of just breaking it down so that black fellas can just get it. And
it's the same with that concept of organisations and places that put out grants now actually letting people present orally of what they want to do for the grant. You know what I mean? It changes the whole perspective, especially for black fellas, like trying to write a grant application to actually talk into what you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to mob to grasp, I can talk to that. Yeah, I can tell you exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it.
Yeah.
But ask me to write to it, I've got no idea. So for so many places doing that now, it works for our mob.
Yeah. And we've got a lot of more and more Aboriginal academics using creating their own theoretical lens, like frameworks that just just more conducive to the way we work, and it's exciting times.
Yeah. So getting that bug to study. So how many degrees have you got, bruh?
I've got 6.
6.
Yeah.
That's deadly, bros. It's not many men out there that can say they have 6 degrees.
I know. And
especially First Nations men, bruh. It's a big achievement.
Yeah. And I don't say it to impress anyone, but just to impress upon people that you can do it, Like I've got 6 degrees and 10 diplomas. Like I'm a bit of a glutton for punishment for studying, but I love it, and and I'll probably enroll in another one this year. But
that's what I was about to say. What's next, bro? Once you get the look, it's funny. It's you get a bug for something, but you just
and they've all been like complimentary, like education, because I've got the we're running, I'm a director of an education charity, and I've got that education background, so when we're writing curriculum, like often I'll write a lot of the, put an Indigenous lens over it, or what works for our communities, and I did an MBA, and that's been, really, just with our business, like just, you don't kind of learn that stuff growing up, but just being able to think how to run a business successfully, and what you need to kind of forecast and look forward, and operational plans, and so that's been really good. And then master's PhD, like that was, I think that was my passion, like asking the question, because I was just kind of sick of hearing what doesn't work with our mob, like with particularly men in the community, on the North Coast, with education and employment. As lots of reports comes out, this doesn't work. It's often deficit, and often it's just like a really negative viewpoint, and I wanted to draw on what are our cultural things that we have as strengths that can make a success.
And that's, I'll do a bit of competency training myself, more in the health sector type of thing, and saying to people, it's like, well, how do I work with Aboriginal people? It's like, treat them like anybody else. Don't treat them as, when they come in and identify as Aboriginal, that they're less than anybody else. I go, because one thing about Aboriginal people, we're used to working out when someone's just trying to tick a box, or when someone starts to look down at us, we pick up on it very quickly, and then we'll shut off. So one thing is just treat us like anybody else that comes in. And it's because it's the things that puts up the barriers for us coming into that service. You know, and it's
but it's pretty exciting that like I work in a lot in the corporate space, and a couple of corporates driving their raps, and I know some people have negative views on reconciliation action plans, but I'm a big fan. Like, I think if they're providing employment opportunities and making a commitment to better engagement and procurement, I think is a big one.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty exciting time for blackfellas at the moment to be, you know, to be working in different fields that they wouldn't have access to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
No, it is, bro. It is. So when you're going through that, all your study and the travel and stuff like that, was there any other fields of work you fell into that, I guess, just to buy time, or sometimes in the aspect of going just to try something different?
Before I entered, like enrolled in an education degree. I was broke, and I was driving an old Datsun car, and I needed some cash, and I had a mate whose dad was working at the abattoir up in Brisbane. So me and my younger brother Kane, we got jobs there, and I thought I'll just work in that to save a bit of cash to get me going once I start, because I was going to go full time, and you know, being a student, full time students can be tough. But I ended up staying there for 2 years. So I worked, you know, cutting up beef for 2 years. Did some bit of casual teaching after my degree. Worked as a youth worker. So that diploma that I did when I finished school, I used that to kind of get into youth work and residential care. And that was an eye opener as well. Like, based at a couple of residential places in Brisbane, and all the kids in care are black Murray kids, you know. Like 90% of the kids that will come through. And it's pretty sad, the system. Like they'd come in and they'd try and rehabilitate them or work with them, and I guess the goal was to get them back with their families or a family member. But what I saw was kids would come in and they'd have a 2-year time at a residence. If they couldn't get them back, they'd just ship them to another residence.
Oh wow.
That was really, really challenging work.
Yeah, it would have been.
I think there was probably like a 10-year period where I was studying and then working like in research at the university. And then that kind of opened up another world, like, you know, being able to go to conferences nationally and internationally and speak about my research. And often, like, you talk about, you know, my postgraduate research with people here, and they don't really seem too interested. But you go to places like the US and Africa and you know, South America, and they want to know, you know.
So it's deadly, bro. So I guess it was with all that travel and stuff, what was the place that, other than America, you know, growing up as a young person, all the sport and stuff over in America, going over there would have been a real privilege, you know, especially with the sports stuff. But where's someone else that you've been that surprised you and you just thought, this is beautiful?
I took my daughter to Dubai. Last year, I think it was. And you know, you hear a lot about Dubai, but then we went down to Abu Dhabi, and man, wow, like what a place, you know. I mean, the food, the people, the culture. I mean, all the kind of touristy stuff in Dubai, but really loved it. Going to go back again.
So you've touched on, you know, family, siblings, your daughter there. So how many siblings do you have?
Well, there's 9 of us.
9,
one of my brothers passed away a couple of years ago.
Sorry to hear that, Bryce.
But we're kind of split between Sydney and Brisbane. Some of us moved down. The younger siblings moved up to Brisbane. We're all pretty close. Like. And I mean, probably one of the highlights of my life is I did my degree and I got through it. And then my sister did dentistry as an oral therapist, and oral health therapist, and she said to me one day, like, I wouldn't have done it if you didn't do it, like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like, that was kind of pretty special.
Yeah.
Just that influence.
No, that's it. You open that door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I attribute the Noel Blomleys and the Chris Saras that opened the door for me to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we shouldn't underestimate the ripple effect of.
Oh yes. Yeah, that old pebble in the water. Yeah. And touch on your kids there. So how many kids you got?
I got Todd or Teddy. Little Teddy's he's 8 and Taya 9.
Yep.
Yeah.
How's that been, bro? How's it doing all this studying, this research and stuff? How's that set you up for fatherhood?
Yeah, bro, I love it, man. Wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
It's pretty special. And yeah, kids are like sponges, man. Like
yeah,
they just want to be with you. And I'm pretty like fortunate that my work I can work from home a lot, so I can be there for kids. And I think in the last probably 4 years, I probably go to an international conference every year or two a year, and I get to take them with me.
Oh, that's good.
And turn it into a bit of a mini holiday. So yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Nah, that's nice, bro. So, just going back to your charity, what was the I guess the penny to drop to start that?
Yeah, so one of the really good friend at QUT, we did education together teaching. Yeah. We sort of stayed in touch over the years, and prior to that, I didn't mention too, I was running an RTO in Brisbane, so we were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were running that for a couple of years, but then we had to shut up shop because of funding restrictions. But he was working for another RTO.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just. I mean, it was just there, there's not a lot of coding and robotics opportunities for kids in schools.
Yeah.
By the time we get to university, it's too late.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just kind of like formed organically. Like we got some funding to do some initial programs, and then we got some Queensland education funding as well.
Yep.
So it's been going really strong for about 4 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So reached about 11,000 kids.
Yeah.
So we'll go in and run robotics, coding workshops, either from something very introductory to kids building robots or learning how to code. It's really deadly. Like we were in Ballina last year at the high school, and it's funny, but we ran a 2-day workshop. All the kids were really engaged, and then I think day 2, Greg English rocked up.
Oh.
And they're doing other stuff, and it was like, but it's good. Like I think, like tech is the way of the future, and
it is. If
we can get more of our mob exposed to opportunities, and
yeah. So you started the charity before your business.
So what? Yeah. So the charity's been running for about 4 years, and what we would do is we often, because of it, we've got charity status.
Yep.
We can't make money. Like we've got so often we'd work with corporates, like some really big supporters like Microsoft and AWS and some really big sort of corporates that said, hey, we love what you do, let us sponsor you. By the way, could you help us? We want to sponsor or donate or create a scholarship. Can you help advise it? But we couldn't. So the 4 of us, we just got together and said, we need to form a company.
Yeah.
And that's been, it's been really good.
Yeah.
We only launched last year, but we've got some big clients, and
it's good, bro.
And then this year's going to be a big one.
Yeah. For all your teams out there, you heard that.
Yeah.
No, but
yeah, I mean that's kind of my plan. I'm hoping that we keep going strength to strength, and then I can get some trainees on in the community, and have you thought about a career in tech or consultancy, or get them on in our charity as employers of teachers or whatever.
Yeah. That's so good, bro. It's the bigger thinking. It's so good to have, but also be in a position that can follow up on that passion now of saying, well, let's actually put someone on. Let's see how this works.
Yeah, and it's pretty rewarding. Like you go into schools and you come back the next year, and kids will say, "Oh, I want to go into career coding." Like or there's one story where there was the CEO of our charity is an engineer.
Yeah,
black fellow from Nimbaka.
Yep.
And there was a kid, and we're talking to this kid, and he said something like, "Oh, I could never be an engineer because I'm just a black fellow." Like, I said to some people, like, I'd like to go to uni when I finish school, and and then we did a talk the next year, and Grant walked in. He said, "Hey, I'm an engineer.
Yeah,
I'm the banking man." Like, and you just see this kid, he was just like,
yeah, yep.
Like the scales were lifted. Yeah, it was awesome. Like,
yep. No, it's deadly to hear, Brian. It's deadly to see the work you're doing, but also the passion. You really light up when you talk about it, bro. It's really good, bro. And, as you know, the last question, bro, is it's all said and done, and you're off in the dream time. What do you want to remember from me, bro?
It's an interesting one. Like as I'm getting older, I'm kind of thinking about it, but just to be a good dad, bro. I think is number one, and then two, just to make that difference in some little way that has a ripple effect for young people, Aboriginal, non-Aboriginal, to achieve, their capacity.
Sweet, bro. Thanks for coming in, bro.
No worries.